Hey guys, MC Mura here, and this is a video that I didn't know if I wanted to make. I didn't know how to say my feelings without really being mean to someone. It may come across as some sort of like a boomer take, but I'm gonna be completely honest. And obviously, I'm talking about how it feels like there is an excessive, greedy amount of monetization in the fighting game space. And obviously, I do feel like esports have kind of sucked the life out of the fun of fighting games, out of gaming in general. If you're watching my video, then there is 99.9% chance that you have heard about the Capcom Cup 12 news. And if no, I don't know how you escaped it. Amazing. But the idea is Capcom Cup 12 happens happening early next year in March, and they're making the event a pay-per-view event where you give them 6k yens, that's about $30-40 depending on the conversions, and you get to watch it stream, right? Which is really weird because it's actually cheaper to attend it in person, which I've never seen an event in my life that is cheaper to attend in person than it is on a stream, but it is what it is. That's hilarious. That's comedy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be full honesty, right? You're gonna see like a different Mura in this video, but I didn't watch Capcom Cup 10. I didn't watch Capcom Cup 11. I watched the VODs. I watched some of the sets that seemed interesting to me. Like, let's watch the grand final. This kid Blaz, who is he? That seemed kind of interesting. That's it. I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm not gonna sit through 5 minutes of gameplay, which is someone getting throw looped or drive shipped, then sit through 20 minutes of ads where the JP theme is playing, and then go back to 5 minutes of gameplay. I'm not about that. I'm not gonna waste my time like that anyways. So I didn't. I only watched the votes. I watched the matches that seemed interesting. And I don't know how many are like me, but whatever. They're charging money for it. And again, if you're watching my video, you probably see the Brian F, the Maximilian, the Ruffelmonger, and everyone and their mother have already talked about it. Maybe Capcom Esports is operating at a loss, poor guys, and they need to make some money back. And this is where I feel like everyone have lost the plot. So here's the thing. I was always under the impression that the entire idea of esports is to market the game. Street Fighter 6 is a video game. It's a product that is made by Capcom, that is a company, and they want to sell such product to consumers such as me, yourself, and others. Right? They need to get this game in front of as many eyes as possible, right? Remember when Street Fighter was on ESPN and we saw Armika clapping Nash and everyone and their mother was hype about it? I saw even some random casuals talking about Street Fighter because it was on ESPN, right? I feel like that is a goal. You want to advertise the game, but they want to make money back from the esports. It appears that they no longer care about marketing the game, making money off of the game, which I feel like the previous model anyways, that was like the entire concept, right? You watch Capcom Cup, there is a ton of people watching it, restream it, you watch it with some of the community, front page of Twitch, trending on YouTube, and then maybe new guys will watch it, and hey, maybe, that's Street Fighter, that looks kind of cool, and then maybe it will be up. I feel like that was the entire idea, right? But no, they want to make back some money from esports. And their idea is, let's make it pay-per-view, because some of the whales are willing to spend. But obviously that kills the entire idea of the esports being there for marketing. Capcom's idea is that they are gonna flag that winner get $1 million, and random Joe on the street is gonna say, I can play Street Fighter 6 and I can become a millionaire. No, you're not. No one cares. Outside of like the 50 players in the world who may have a realistic chance at winning the million, no one cares about the $1 million prize pool. No one cares about that tag. When you put that in a trailer, you think, oh my God, I'm excited, million. No one cares. No, that's the honest truth. No one cares. People, viewers like you and me, others who are watching these games, who are watching these sets, they watch it because of the love of the game. They love the competitive circuits. They love watching. They love getting hype, getting exciting, etc. Watching people play the characters really well, all of that. But I don't care if the winner gets $1 million or a 50K. It doesn't bother me because I'm never gonna be at that level, right? And even then, if the entire concept is the winner gets $1 million, then the prize pool distribution is absurd. Again, it's only for that tag. And that's where none of the esports stuff makes sense. Stay with me for a little bit. Let's touch grass. Here I'm touching grass. Holy fuck. So when we talk about real sports, right? Real life sports, right? Say the World Cup, football players, soccer, whatever, they get paid a ton of money. Why do these players get a ton of money? Because millions of people watch the games every day. They're watching the leagues. The World Cup finals, like the France versus Argentina World Cup finals, that was watched by 1.5 billion people. So 1.5 billion are watching a game. So there is a ton of advertisement. Everyone want to advertise because an unprecedented amount of eyes are on this TV at that moment watching that thing. So maybe they will see my product and that looks cool. And that pays for the organizers, that pays for the players, the companies, the club. It's a business. It's a business. That's it. Again, let's touch grass. Let's talk about the real world, right? If someone is like Lionel Messi, who maybe is like the best football player of all time, right? He makes a ton of money. Maybe you will have a legend in another sports like Taekwondo. Let's say we have a Taekwondo legend that wins the Olympics every time. Who's going to be making more money? Messi, because more people watch Messi. That's it. That is it. That's it. That is life. That is business. The viewerships, the sponsors comes because there's viewership, and viewership comes from how many people care about the game, and how many people care about the game comes from how many units are sold. So the idea is get the game in front of as many eyes as possible. They may pick it up, they may watch it, they may become a part of the scene, and then the viewership increase. It is that simple. You don't brute force money into it because that doesn't make sense. I mean, let's be completely honest. I'm going to show you a stat that is going to be hurtful to some folks of the FGC, but it is what it is. League of Legends, right? I haven't watched this, whatever. I don't care about League of Legends at all. I don't care about Riot and what they do, but let's care about the numbers. Apparently, this is like the 2024 championship, and that is like 6.8 million viewers, peak viewers, 6.8 million. So Faker, the guy who's number one, made about $1.9 million. All right, that to me kind of makes sense because look at how many eyes were on that game. But then let's talk about like Capcom Cup 11. I love Street Fighter, you know that, but like that's like 350K. So why is the winner getting $1 million? Like, does that make sense? The viewership and the prize pool doesn't match. All because Capcom want to put in a trailer, the winner will become a millionaire. You think that Kakeru picked up Street Fighter 6 yesterday because he wanted to be a millionaire? He's been playing for ages. And that's why it feels so backwards to me. It's like the whole idea is backwards. The whole idea is blown outside of proportion. So they have to nickel and dime you just to keep it sustainable, but it's not. And again, like the entire concept of they need to get back money is so stupid. I'm sorry, because you can make like, put in my costume, that costume right there, slap a CPT logo on her ass, and people are gonna buy it because it's gonna support the tournament scene. That's it. Make costumes, make skins for the characters. They could monetize the heck out of Street Fighter 6 to make some money. But they're not. They don't produce any content, and they just want you to watch something that you've been watching for free. So now no more eyes are gonna get into it. It's not gonna expand. Capcom is shooting themselves in the foot. And I'm sorry, esports Street Fighter is not worth $1 million. That's it. That is the reality of it. I don't like, and again, no one cares really. The players, the viewers, they don't care. I'm happy that some guy is getting a ton of money. More power to them. I don't care, but it's not worth operating at a loss, is what I'm saying, right? And again, they have tons of other ways to make back money. Tons of other ways. They don't have to even operate at a loss, because they can make back from costumes, event, say that we're gonna make like a specific pool to support the Pro Tour. People are gonna support that. There's so many people who are passionate. And then there is like there's a couple of elephants in the room that no one is talking about. Like, I've seen this tweet by Molly, which is where she is. This actually, I think Big Bird actually talked about it as well. He kind of retweeted it, which made a lot of sense, right? She was talking about how Capcom Cup is not really like a standalone event. Capcom Cup, there is an event, right? The issue is, while that Capcom Cup Capcom funds the Capcom Cup final, they don't absolutely pay the other qualifier tournaments for the Pro Tours. It's not like Capcom is not the entire responsible party. There are other parties that are responsible. All of the World Warrior event, all of that other TOs, all of the other people around the world who put in the effort to make that Capcom Cup happen, they're not getting compensated. The whole concept is weird and backward and make no sense, and just the entire concept of monetization out of everything. Like every tournaments want to make a ton of money. I see players who like, pay me to run sets. What? This is a video. Like, you want someone to pay you to run sets? More power to you. If someone is willing to do that, congrats. But really? And I see and like tutorial content that is being logged behind paywalls, and it's just video games, guys. I wanted to address the tutorial thing behind paywalls, which, no shades on the creators, that's great to them, and if someone is willing to pay to support their favorite creators, that's fine, great, amazing, no, congrats. Like, I personally got super thanks from people on guides. I am super thankful to them, but the concept of getting better in Street Fighter and paying for like tutorial content, it's a video game. That's number one. But number two, there is a saying that like, you can bring the horse to the lake, but you can't force the horse to drink. I can't. If you want to get better, you have to put in the effort. That's it. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's video games. It's not that Hollywood. We're not that big. Anyways, seems like everyone is about the money these days, and everyone want to be the next Daigo, and it feels like people just don't play the games because of the fun of it anymore, or at least not as much as they used to. I don't know. Anyways, what are your thoughts on everything? Am I crazy? I would love to hear your thoughts all about it in the comment section below. I'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.